favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now.
In the basis of our reality, the same algorithms that run Google, Facebook, and the rest of them are embedded in the reality. So it is a self-fulfilling technology. They've taken what is the mycelial network, which is the internet of the earth, mycelium, fungi, mushrooms. And that knowledge, because the mushroom mycelium is sentient, what we see as the mushroom is the reproductive portion of the mushroom, the stem and the cap. The cap being female and the stem being male. Them together makes little mushrooms.
You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
Let me see those hands in the air.
You are now tapped in
Everybody jump.
with the Hood Mystic.
I project myself outside of myself and I talk to myself when I'm speaking.
I know you like it's late, ain't gonna be no daily energy reading, but we back. Hey man, tell your mom and them Hood Mystic doing a daily energy reading. It's spiritual, it's occultism, it's astrology, but it's down to earth. It's Sunday, so I've been having sex. My lazy day. Keeping it real. Okay, man. I don't know. People are so fake and phony on these internet streets. It'll make you think that, being real is some form of a crime. But let's just do this like this. Let y'all know what we doing today. It's the daily energy reading. I'm your host, the Hood Mystic, representing hoodmystic.com, columbianexchange.com, whiterabbitpsych.com. Those are my businesses. It is Sunday. So that means that you can still get 25% off your order. This is weekend only. For those who are interested, tap in now. Link is in the description. If you don't see it, just visit hoodmystic.com and the link is for sure there. But yeah, man, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the sun because it's Sunday. Man, I just try to make it a little bit more interesting than just a person on here blabbering about ways that can help you. Because at the end of the day, if you don't help yourself, don't none of this shit actually matter. But give me a thumbs up, one in the chat if you can hear me okay, as we start to get into this conversation. Doing some setup stuff. All right, today is Sunday, and when we deal with the daily energy readings, we want to first things first figure out what day of the week it is, because within the day of the week is the actual astrological correspondence. Okay, and this is something that, as melanated people in the diaspora, would be a good grounding for us, because this is actually our science. This is actually our understanding. Rome don't know nothing about Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the sun, Venus, Mercury, and the moon. All Rome know is war and conquering and usurping the deities and energies and making them their own. So Rome actually got the science of the planets from Egypt. And that's who you truly are. Ancient Egyptians, or people who had the knowledge, people who understood the science, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Um, the reason that I call this video or topic that we're going to be discussing the zombie apocalypse is based upon this book right here, which will be the link in the description. Once again, I feel like everybody should have this book in their library. This is the only book in my library for which I have 2 books. I want at least 2 people reading this book in my house at the same time. Such a powerful book. It incorporates the Kabbalah in understanding, overstanding, and understanding. And so, one of the concepts that we're going to address when we deal with this energy is how most people are living in the zombie apocalypse right now. Because when we talk about the soul reality to a human being, no matter how many times I'm on YouTube talking about it, no matter how many times I have conversations about it, if it doesn't really hit, if it doesn't really stick, then it's going to be something that escapes you because you can't see it. And if you look at the upper right corner, you'll see a Ouroboros with the word materialism in it, because that's what materialism is. Once you buy a pair of shoes, none of y'all stopped at one pair of shoes. You got to get a second pair of shoes, a third pair of shoes. And this ain't even, some of y'all shoes be dusty. We don't even have the flyest shoes. But that does not mean that you are not a victim of materialism, even at the lowest levels. What materialism actually does is it takes you out of source consciousness. So, in order to understand source consciousness, one has to really get into the science of the day, and of course dive into literature, take notes and reference to the literature. One of the good books to get is this book right here, Becoming Like God, Our Ultimate Destiny. And maybe I will read some things out of this. All right, so first things first, we want to bring up the chart, really study the sun aspects to the chart, because if you don't study the sun aspects, which most people don't, um, you'll just be feeling things, going through things. It's a party tonight, a graduation party, things of that nature, right? But when you want to start breaking through, you want to have a breakthrough, you want to have a understanding or understanding of, should I do this or should I do that? A good way to start is studying the transits. The transits just tell you about the energy of the day. And one of the transits that I like to study are sidereal transits, because they are the more accurate placements of the day. The sun is in Gemini, Venus is in Gemini. So yesterday's video was in reference to Tiferet, right? And today's video will be a reference to your side. So what you can feel in the air, you can actually begin to express it. But I want to make sure that for the people who have ears, because everybody don't have ears, right? Everybody is not going to bear witness to their soul, but this is the conversation that needs to be number one. We might shoot the shit. Things might go up. Things might go down. You might get a job. You might have a craving. You might have a desire. All of these things might be right and true. But 10 times out of 10, they're going to distract you and they're going to pull you off course because the reality of everybody listening, everybody that you know, the reality of us all is that there is a soul, there is an intuition, there is a knowing, and that creates peace, that creates chill vibes, that creates the ease of life, relating to the nature, or just kind of, just understanding things from a mental perspective. This is the sun in Gemini. This is also sun conjunct Venus, and Venus is in Gemini as well. So as these energies really connect, it's giving us a sense of intuition. Now, intuition is something that is for spiritually led people. Intuition is not for people who do not have a spiritual foundation. What I mean is, when you don't have intuition, you will usually spend this time looking for someone to follow, looking for someone to lean on, looking for someone to depend on, looking for someone to need. And that someone 10 times out of 10 does not exist, because the reality, as I stated earlier, the reality for most people is that they actually have a soul or access to God. So the Sabian symbol that we're going to be talking about is 14 degrees Gemini. 14 degrees Gemini says that this is a conversation by telepathy. When these Sabian symbols were created, cell phones didn't exist, but a conversation by telepathy would be the time where you're thinking about somebody and lo and behold, they start to call you. Or you're thinking about somebody and lo and behold, they email you. Well, when we have these daily energy readings, we're talking about from a spiritual context, even in when we're studying astrology. If you begin to reflect on the sun, and I think one of the most beautiful chapters, shameless plug, one of the most beautiful chapters in spiritual being having a human experience is when we're detailing the sun. Because when we talk about sidereal astrology, we're more or less talking about the sun and the moon, but that's just regular life. Sunday follows Monday. The two most important days throughout the week is Sunday and Monday. But the sun has a particular characteristic that we can all share in. And that characteristic is radiation. The sun radiates light and energy. Now, when it comes down to the come down, if you're not radiating light or energy, 10 times out of 10, you're going to feel bad, because that's what you're supposed to do down here. You're not supposed to come down here and be treated a certain way, be loved a certain way, look a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way. It is, we are to become like God, and our understanding of the God is split up in 7 varieties that we can bear witness to in nature, as well as a human trait, which is the ability to spread and share love and light throughout the collective. So, at higher levels of consciousness, non ordinary techniques could be accessed at will. So, one of the main conversations that we'll be talking about is getting past the solar plexus chakra. Or sometimes for a lot of people, is getting to the solar plexus chakra, because if you've been keeping up, when we talk about personal relationships, however they look for you, these are the things that dominate your emotions. And because they dominate your emotions, you're not able to reach higher levels of consciousness, because higher levels of consciousness, for lack of better words, don't give a fuck about your personal relationships, because at higher levels of consciousness, you have existed for multiple lifetimes and you've been able to parse this particular information. So if you can understand through the modes that we'll be discussing, I want to at least give you a solution with the energy to help you get beyond how you're feeling. It would be to raise your chakras as opposed to needing somebody real bad or depending on somebody real bad and saying, damn, if this person would have just helped me, I would have been in this better situation, which is a false idea. And the reality is, if you would have just took spirituality seriously, you would be in a better situation. Because what is spirituality in this context? It is reaching higher levels of consciousness so you can get access to everything that you need. Everything that you need is within you. A subtle realization can emerge as we escape the bonds of ordinary life and live as though dancing to our own inner melody. May you find that now. That the bonds are illusory. The separation is itself an illusion. If you are alive, you're never disconnected from your soul. It is just your thoughts and emotions and your needs and desires that make you think this way. Building on this understanding and trusting intuition more and more, we notice that we tune into others, especially equally advanced ones, to the level of mental rapport that rises to telepathy. Telepathy. We can even know what others cannot imagine is knowable. So this is simply bridging the physical space and social distinctions. When we are just in a space where we just know, then what tends to happen is that your customers will just start to buy stuff from you, right? When your future lover is going to send you a DM. You access the realm of miracles when you tap into yourself. And that's the rub with this spiritual mumbo jumbo in this spiritual game. It's always something outside of yourself that you may think that you need or that you may be searching for, but you're never going to find it. Everything that you're searching for is within you. But how do you access it is where we get into the conversation that we're going to be having today. Accessing the within beyond the mumbo jumbo. Because one's in the chat, if it makes no sense that the solutions are to be found within you, that it requires you to pay somebody else for you to find the solutions for your life. Does that make sense to y'all? I was just making sure. Does that make sense? You need to find the answers within yourself. So you pay somebody else so you can find the answers within yourself. So let's get into some understandings. So the energy is going to be taken from the card Nine of Swords. And the reason that we say the Nine of Swords is because the sun is in the second decan of Gemini, and the Nine of Swords rules the second decan of Gemini. So the Nine of Swords is called cruelty. And it has a picture of a young lady in a picture sticking her leg out of a picture. What does that represent? Let me zoom in for those who can read better than I can. The erotic terror, which is everybody listening to the video, unfortunately, having a high school level reading level was not a prerequisite to getting this YouTube channel, fortunately or unfortunately for me. The erotic tarot, Nine of Air, depicts an interesting scene of a painting of a woman in a medieval dress freeing herself from the illustration. She is stepping out of the prison of enforced identity in the beginning of her own. She is tired of being the cultural cookie cutter woman of some man's dream and is deciding it is time to, above all things, know herself. So let's break that down into parts. One of the main ideas that I got introduced to the fact that we're living is a prison is from this book that you see on the right. It's called Becoming Like God. It's by Michael Berg. It's on Amazon. The link is in the description, right? It's one of the best books I've ever read on spirituality. And one of his main premises is that we are living in a prison that we could just walk out of if we wanted to. We must realize that this life is a prison. I'm reading from the book. You can get the book, link in the description. Rather than generating despair, such as an evaluation, is actually an assertion of freedom and hope. Vanishing in time, destined to die, clinging to an illusion of separateness from God, these are the ultimate sources of desperation. So I don't care what you're going through, the reason that you're suffering is because in your mind, you haven't allowed and accepted the fact that God lives within your mind and your thought space and your energy space. When I say God is within you, you haven't reflected on it and been moved to tears. You haven't, see, that's the emotion that one should actually feel. The fear, the anger, the pain is not real. Because the only true emotion that one should feel is the reality of life coursing through their body. If my assumption is if you wanted to be emotional, you should be emotional about that. But here it is. We are clinging to, as he states at the end of the chapter, pain, suffering, and death. It's as if we were in a destructive, unhealthy situation, a demeaning love relationship, or an unfulfilling job. And after all the denials and realizations, we are struck by a moment of clarity and it suddenly pops. There's no more balance sheet. There's no more judicious weighing of the various pros and cons. We just leave because we know we have to. And this prison is the prison, this maximum security prison is the thought structure and the thought form that you don't know that God exists within you or that the soul is within you. This is why I don't give a fuck what they talking about on the internet. The point of spirituality is to know thyself. And that's why I can have a YouTube page and talk and do all of this shit because at the end of the day, man, I know that that's what it's about. Everybody that ever tap into you, they going to have to get this shit down. And if you don't understand nothing from me, you better understand this. It ain't for me to know you. It ain't for you to know me. It's for you to know thyself. I didn't write this shit on Wikipedia. I didn't create this idea. I didn't start the facts of you have a soul. This is something that's been ancient. This is something that have been created for us. Know thyself is a philosophical maxim which was inscribed on the Temple of Apollo in the ancient Greek precinct of Delphi, best known for the Delphic Maxim. The Delphic Maxims are a set of moral precepts that are inscribed in the Temple of Apollo in the ancient Greek precinct of Delphi. The three best known maxims are know thyself, nothing in excess, and give a pledge, and trouble is at hand. I gotta get into that. I need to. I ain't never heard that one. I might do a video on that third one, because goddamn, I think that's the nigga version of give a nigga an inch, they take a mile type shit. It has been quoted and analyzed by numerous authors throughout history and has been applied in many ways. Now let's to the point where I want to just get us to. The principle, let's zoom in. Let's give you a little. Niggas got to read this shit for themselves, because this is what it's about. You have the opportunity to radiate love and light because you have a soul. But if you not bear witness, if you're not emotionally moved to it, to tears, like imagine your girlfriend telling you while you was gone, I called your daddy and he came through and just tore it up real quick. Imagine how emotionally tore up you would be that your dad cracked your wife. That's how you should feel about your soul. You should be that happy, like the inverse of it, though. Not like you get what I'm saying. The principal meaning of the phrase in its original application, know your limits, either in the sense of knowing the extent of one's abilities, knowing one's place in the social scale, or knowing oneself to be mortal. However, this is where we want to key into. The maxim was drastically reinterpreted by Plato, who understood it to mean, broadly speaking, know your soul. Know your soul. Niggas need to put that in the chat, man. Know your soul. When your grandma call you with the guilt trip, grandma, know your soul. When your mama call you with the guilt trip, mama, know your soul. When your daddy call you wondering why you ain't get him nothing for Father's Day, daddy, know your soul. Everybody, know your soul. Because if you do not know your soul, then you are talking about some crusty ass nigga that you met off a hinge, talking about that's your soulmate, and you trying to figure out why it's not working with your fucking soulmate. Imagine somebody liking you, not texting you for 4 days. Y'all be going through the weirdest situations. Know your soul. If that motherfucker ain't locked in with you from sun up to sundown, they not locked in. And you the goofy because you don't know your soul, and you couldn't know the difference between somebody loving you or not loving you because you don't know your soul. You don't have the basis of love, which it comes from you. You should be at a space in your life that if a nigga say, you know what, I'm in love with your sister, you be like, cool, I'll set up the play. Why? Because you know your soul. It shouldn't be no earthly shit that you contending with. Because that's like David trying to fight Goliath or some shit. Once David knew who he was, it's easy to just take that nigga off. We human beings in a world with fucking grizzly bears. It would had to be a miracle for us to survive in this world with all of the beasts that have been extinct. We was in the wild with these motherfuckers. We had to figure it out. These niggas was much stronger, faster, at sometimes even smarter. A snake, way smarter than a human. How do we survive for millions of years? I'm going to tell you how. We figured it out internally. So If you ain't in the middle of the jungle surrounded by wildlife, your shit ain't that bad as you making it seem to be. Imagine how bad it could be for a nigga. And then imagine that you just at your crib, like trying to figure it out, or wherever you at. Cause I would imagine it get real bad if you don't get this part. And I'm talking about having an emotional connection with your soul. The same way as you had with that motherfucking nigga that you were kicking with on spring break 2014. Where you was just wild and carefree. And you was feeling like y'all was gonna get married. You don't even know that nigga's name. You do not even remember that nigga's name. Oh, what was his name, girl? He was so fine. Oh my God, he was fine. Oh, it's so crazy. My kid ain't never gonna see him though. I just don't know your daddy's name, baby. It was a wild night. How do we get in tune with our soul? Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about dreams. We're going to talk about love. And we're going to talk about emotions. Now, Sun, Venus, and Gemini mean that the dreams are coming with some clear narratives. Don't be so confused about shit. Like, life is confusing, but your dreams are pretty much like, start that OnlyFans page. You don't let the whole city see that thing anyways. Might as well let the internet see it. You was giving it up on the first night. It ain't no thing. Some of y'all dudes need to start an OnlyFans page. Some money in it for y'all. Y'all wouldn't be so broke. Y'all be out here clapping cheeks for free. What part of the game is that? She like, oh, it looks so nice. You like, yeah, I wish I could come over there. I don't even got enough money for the Uber. Man, start that OnlyFans page. Figure it out. Your dreams got you selling it online. So I'm just joking, y'all. Y'all would take me so seriously. Hood, I can't listen to you no more, man. You're taking it too far, man. You're triggering me because I really want to start an Only or some of y'all been on OnlyFans a little too much. OnlyFans done came into like a real bill. You gotta add it into the budget. Your girl like, what is this $100 going to OF for? What is OF? Yeah, that's babe. That's my support, my online support group. Only fathers. Yeah, babe, only fathers. You seen I've been a lot happier lately. It's all because of that support group, babe. Don't worry why I was calling you Tatalicious when I was dreaming last night. That don't mean nothing. Went down the wrong pipe. Okay. So dreams are imaginary sequences, some with clear narratives and some without, that play out in people's minds as they sleep. Most dreams consist of a series of images, sensations, and emotions in a range from pleasant and exciting to boring or even terrifying. The reason that I'm talking about dreams is because most people are experiencing dreams even if they don't experience dreams because of the way of the planetary alignment. Because the dreams are not dreams, they're more in telling you about your energy. And your energy is not always related to what you're doing on earth. I would say 0.0001% of what you do on earth relates to who you truly are, unless you want to fuck everything up. And in that aspect, you have 100% opportunity, which gets us into the greater gist of the problem. You ain't even supposed to be out here fucking it up, but you making it so that you are fucking it up because you taking the smallest part of your life and making it the biggest part of your life, because you're always outside of the vortex when it comes to how to deal with the energy, where it's clear to raise your frequency, love, operate through your chakras, understand what your chakras are, have the transformation, and change your life from the inside. Motherfuckers is not strong enough to do it. Decoding your dreams, now you got to rely on somebody else to decode your dreams, and your soul is massive. Nobody can decode your dreams. You the only one that can decode your dreams, because even if somebody get it right, what if you dream tomorrow? That means you got to talk to this nigga every single day and tell you the dreams that you've been having. He gonna start charging you, of course. And then that gets us into, the soulmate conversation. But y'all single, living single, so let's just keep it there. Who you gonna tell your dreams to? The scam artist. You supposed to be telling your dreams to your partner, but nobody want to get to that level in their spirituality. Everybody want to just be single and spiritual at the same time. But who is you telling your dreams to? Oh, the scam artist that's charging you every time you tell her to then decode it, and it's not leading to no transformation. Your dreams are your soul. You're supposed to know yourself through your dreams. You're supposed to follow your dreams. You ever heard the term before? One's in the term, and everybody should at least hit one for the algorithm, like the video, things of that nature. You ever heard the term "follow my dreams"? I'm gonna follow my dreams. Have you ever heard a nigga say, "My dreams is following me. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start this job so my dreams can catch up to me working at fucking Amazon"? Does that make any fucking sense? Or are you supposed to use your dreams as a guidepost? Therefore, what are your dreams saying? What do your dreams represent? You should have a clear understanding of the energy, and you should be in chill vibes, because it's more of you allowing your soul to do some stuff. You might have to go into trance today. You might have to go into deep meditation today, but you shouldn't be doing nothing in reference to what your soul needs to do. But once again, we having conversation, we talking astrophysics, to a bunch of winos a lot of time, meaning that nobody want to do the facts of know thyself. Know thyself is basically know your soul. But then it's well, what niggas is talking about over here? What they talking about over there? They having a meeting of the old niggas. I mean the elders, you know what I mean? And they're gonna be telling us a whole bunch of old shit, and we're gonna be like, ooh, ah, ooh, and then we're gonna go home, and then we gotta deal with fucking inflation, right? You gotta deal with life and how life is coming. Yeah, nigga, you better start dealing with this spirituality so you can start hijacking people to start sewing into your business. You better start doing some remote viewing so you can start telling people to sign up to your OnlyFans. Sign up, book a reading with you. Something. You got to get it to a point where you doing high level magic for your life, or else the zombie apocalypse is going to have you working at a job, and the world is worlding right now. That's why it's cool for me to get on here and talk about all this magic shit, because ain't nobody else talking about it. Because the world is the world, and the world is hard. So some shit that I've been talking about, niggas be like, oh, I like your video. Now it's no, I need to figure this shit out. This shit getting real. What was you saying about love? Yeah, love must be sincere. You gotta actually love unconditionally from the heart chakra. and you gotta hate what's evil. So if I'm dealing with scam artists and no scam artists and shit like that, I gotta speak to it. Cause the ways for which niggas will love and then just be in their own little bubble, that's not actual love. Like you gotta actually fight for something. Hate what is evil. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. When you are a spiritual being, you don't got to think about yourself because you already have a soul. But if you dealing with people that's not spiritual beings, they very much into their ego. And since they are into their ego, nothing about the situation is rooted in love. You'll be hard pressed, like you'll be so amazed when you be dealing with a person that only cared about themselves, and then you find somebody that actually love God. You be like, damn, this shit crazy. This is a peaceful, blissful relationship on an energetic level. Like, like it's a spiritual modality to life and love, that peace exists in your relationship when God is running it. And it's also a modality that you can't even, you gonna cry yourself to sleep shacking up with some of these niggas. Them niggas been in your house 31 days and start acting different because he was on Google saying, well, if I live here for 30 days, she can't even kick me out for real. So for 30 days, he fucking taking out payday loans, showing you he that nigga for real. Day 31, he taking his car back to Turo. He giving his cousins back his outfits. He ain't got no more money. And now all he got is his PS5 and his Amazon job. And you sitting there like, damn, how was I ever confused? How did I ever get tricked? You didn't love God in the first fucking place. If you dating the same nigga that work at the same place that you work at, how do that make sense? Y'all at the same level. That ain't gonna never work out. It ain't gonna never work out. The niggas that's trying to date and fuck is the niggas that's down to ruin your life. The niggas that got their shit together looking for support. Niggas don't never want to have this conversation though. Cause I'm pretty sure you've been fucking since you've been 16, 17, 18, and you was fucking niggas that was your same age, same disposition. So of course you don't got no, you got a foul taste in your mouth when it comes to men. You ain't never dealt with one. You only dealt with boys. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope. Once again, we talking about love, relationships, emotions. That's the real spiritual shit. If you a lame ass person and you don't really know how to treat a motherfucker for real, and you then trying to figure it out spiritually, you gonna be paying niggas all your money. But if you know how to love and be loved, and you know how to be like, all right, I may have fucked up before, but if I get into a situation that's a good situation, I'm going to learn. I'm going to try. I'm going to improve. See, that's a heart. A heart is going to get you a long way. That, man, I can't stand these niggas. These niggas ain't shit. I can't trust these niggas. You better cheat on these niggas before they cheat on you. And then you be trying to figure out, well, what's up with me? Why can't I find nobody? Let's talk about being joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. That means like when you want something good to happen in your life, you automatically know it's going to happen. And when it don't look the way that it's supposed to look, you gonna be patient. And when you wishing for something, you wishing for something that you damn near know is going to happen. And you kind of hit them with that treacherous three. In the space of this treacherous three, you can't be sitting back like, damn, my life is over. I fucked up. This is bad. No. See, it's like it's a certain level of peace that a person was like, damn, you don't never do nothing, you just be chilling. Sometimes a motherfucker just be patient in his affliction. Cause like you ever heard of the saying, this too shall pass? That's sometimes nigga be in a deep mist of affliction, but still patient at the same time. Share with the Lord's people who are in need, practice hospitality. Sometimes when we selfish, we forget all of these particular energies, and it'll keep us in that cycle of materialism, just constantly wanting stuff, looking for stuff, trying to accomplish stuff, trying to be stuff. But really, the whole thing is learning how to not need none of that because we came from the generation of materialism. Like we sat in front of the TV all day, and the TV ain't did nothing but show you commercials every day. And the commercials just made you want to buy shit every day. What I'm putting in the chat is the link for the book that I'm showing y'all on the screen. It's a free PDF. Feel like niggas should read this book because it's very important for spiritual development. But the book is called Liber and the Psychonaut. Liber and the Psychonaut is this chapter that I'm reading is what's called Liber and it's page 57. And really the point that I just kind of want to key into is the body and the spirit. And the spirit uses the body to express itself. The spirit uses the body to express itself. Our goal in this life is to allow the life force to control our body, because our body is only going to want to have sex and eat food. So therefore, we need to allow our soul to penetrate our body, our ideas, our emotions, and our experience, etc. So we can begin to express who we are at a soul level. And it's cool that we have the body. So therefore, what do you do with the body? You begin to exercise, engage the body, step out of the AC for a little bit. It's hot outside. It's good to just sweat and just be in the hoodie, and just be sweating in the summertime. It's going to be a lot of different things that happen that's going to make it feel like, oh, I just need to be comfortable. I just need to relax. I just need to sit down. I don't need to work out. I don't need to do these things. Well, this is going to destroy the possibility of your life force energy expressing itself for a large point of time. Now you could either do a flash in the pan like some 20 somethings do when they make it in hip hop, or you could do it of a sustained period of the yogi who lives to be 150. You can make a choice, but some people they hate life. Oh, I can't stand it here. I hate life and all of this stuff. You're supposed to hate life because life drives you within so you can begin to love your soul. And then you begin to express the flesh through the soul. Kia has no mirror for itself, and there is no awareness. If there is no body, then there is no awareness, no ecstasy, no nothing. So we get to experience certain levels of ecstasy, certain levels of amusement because we do have a body. But once again, it's like, what are you experiencing all of this shit for? What are you doing all of this shit for? If you can't come up with a clear answer for you, I'll insert one until you can figure one out. You are here to express who you are at a soul level. And the thing that is blocking you is your emotions to life and to people. You didn't graduate high school. You never went to prom. A girl never gave you head in the car while you was driving. And you asked her, she said, no, I don't want you to get in a crash. And so you just been just living with this girl and you've been fantasizing about getting head while you're driving. And it just never happened for you. This is not my story. I've got head plenty of times while driving. But I'm just saying. I know it's dudes out there that have the emotion to want to get some head while they're driving, and they girls just would never do it. So that'll be the thing that they just will just harping on, and then they'll be on Pornhub, head while driving. Jacking off to other people getting head while they driving, so just so they can go to sleep. So where are we at now? When you look at the nine of swords, this is the Thoth Tarot, but even the nine of swords and the Rider Waite, it's like somebody that's like stressed out, can't sleep, can't figure it out, not doing the best that they can do. And a lot of times with this energy, it's the single person that's grown though. It's cool when you like 24 or something like that, and you just got out of a relationship or whatever, and you about to got back. Like some of y'all be like 47 and single. That'd be weird. 58 and single, weird. 67 single, even weirder. 79 single. See how weirder it gets the older you get, right? So it's good to just be young and developing a relationship and learning how to resolve conflict and things of that nature, right? Because yeah, you might can get into a new relationship because you look halfway decent, but you probably can't for real. But that's a whole nother conversation. But when we talking about this nine of swords energy, it's weird how 25% of us are married. Like 75% of us is single, going in and out of a relationship. So that's not by coincidence because we was once the most married people. We are under a system of divide and conquer. What does divide and conquer mean? It means to make a group of people disagree and fight with one another so that they will not join together against one. That's literally what we going against. And it's been like this. I remember I was in the golden age. When I was in high school, it was boy girl. We would go to the movies. It was dances. It was school. It was a lot of opportunities to get you a girl, right? It was popping. Then when I went to jail, went to prison. I got out of prison, and I feel like I woke up into a different dimension. Maybe this is a different Earth. Hell, maybe this is actually hell, and I just don't realize it. But from when I went to jail, from like 2003 to 2006, when I came out, it was not the same no more. And I was still pulling stuff because I'm Kyrie. But at the same time, I noticed that my homies wasn't able, they were struggling. And I would say things like, oh man, you could get a girl, it's easy. And these niggas like 38 now still ain't never got, they still, it's bad out here, right? Because girls want swag, like dangerousness. They want you to be a felon. And if you like a good dude, like a square, cookie cutter square, you ain't got no hoes. Cause girls don't even like that type of shit. But your mama told you, you better be a good girl, good guy, so you can get you a good girl. Hey, all the good girls went to thugs and shit. So you gotta have like an edge. But see, we say like you gotta have an edge, but nigga, how many niggas just want to go to prison for a few? That don't make sense. I got me this edge now. Get some hoes. Like, might not even bounce back from that. But yeah, or you could be a scam artist, but girls always figure it out. The nigga that always look good, but he don't got no hoes for real. You be like, oh, he seemed like a nice guy. He gay. It'd be weird. You'd be like, damn. I knew it was something. Like I knew You look too good to not have no hoes just lingering, no baby mamas, nothing. You know, it'd be weird shit going on in this world. And I'm only talking about the real shit that's happening. You would be like, well, I want to just find a good guy that I'm going to like, or I want to find this girl, this perfect girl that's going to love me for me. So I'm going to open up a Hinge account. Y'all niggas been on them social media dating app shit the entirety of their existence. Ain't never got married, bro. That's crazy. Ain't never had a long-term relationship. You just crack open that app when you want to get cracked. It's like a this is exactly what it's for. And trust me, 90%. How do people get in? How do people date in 2024? According to Forbes Health, online dating apps are still the most popular way to meet people in 2024. You niggas are cooked. Filet mignon. It ain't no possible way you gonna find a quality motherfucker on a dating app. It's just not happening. Or else you would have found one by now. Just use your common sense. You know how I know you cook for being on an online dating app? Because any real nigga that can get girls, he can get girls outside of the dating app. Any nigga that can't get girls in real life, guess where he's gonna go, ladies? Guess where all the scamming ass niggas is gonna go to find girls? You think they gonna get out in these streets, get out in the field, and talk to girls at the coffee shop? Oh no, he gonna have a profile picture to die for, bitch. He gonna be sitting there like, man, this nigga look good. I seen my girl's goddamn Instagram. Niggas look unbelievable on that motherfucking app. Niggas be color coordinated with their cars. They be in different cars and shit. It be niggas be having finger waves and shit, earrings, all types of accessories. Them is all scammers. Y'all goofy and y'all cooked. Divide and conquer. If you're not strong enough to get out in these fields and start a meetup group or something, like you gotta really stand in your purpose if you want a woman in 2024. If you're not that nigga for real within your own self, Ray Cash had a song called "A Pimp in My Own Mind." Like you gotta have some shit about you, or else you gonna be in this world trying to find a chick online, and it's just zombie apocalypse stuff going on. Malcolm describes how the divide and conquer strategy of colonialism is used against black people in America. Malcolm X said this April 8th, 1964. The greatest weapon that the colonial powers have used in the past against our people has always been divide and conquer. America is a colonial power. She has colonized 22 million black people by depriving us of first class citizenship, by depriving us of civil rights, actually, by depriving us of human rights. She has not only deprived us of the right to be a citizen, she has deprived us as a right to be a human being, the right to be recognized and respected as men and women. In this country, the black can be 50 years old and he is still a boy. I grew up with white people. I was integrated before they even invented the word, and I've never met white people yet. If you are around them long enough, who won't refer to you as a boy or a gal, no matter how old you are or what school you came out of, no matter what your intellectual or professional level is, in this society, we remain boys. So America's strategy is the same strategy as that which was used in the past colonial powers: divide and conquer. She plays one Negro leader against the other. She plays one Negro organization against the others. She makes us think we have different objectives and different goals. As soon as one Negro says something, she runs this Negro and asks him, "What do you think about what he said? Why anybody can see that? Why anybody can see through that today, except some of the Negro leaders?" So I brought this up because we really live in a society where this is America, and America is for one thing: enslaving black people. And I don't mean by keeping us in chains and working on the plantation, but even though some of y'all niggas work more than y'all meditate, but with all that being said, America's goal is to keep you in a spiritual bondage. That spiritual bondage is materialism. And because you want so much shit, it's not going to give you a space where you can be grateful for the God that live within you. Think about it. If your ancestors were slaves, had to deal with migration, it's even a trope that would be like, where was God at during slavery? Right? So we as a people hate God. As a people, hate it. And then you like Kyrie, you being drastic now. Look at Sexy Red. Look at Chief Keef. Look at all of the rappers, female, male rappers, the drill rappers. It's a lot of people that speak in the space of hating God. And it's normal for us. And you then try to say, well, it's just the people that you know. I don't even know none of these people. I'm just literally, it's like ever since I was a child, I noticed that it was a major problem taking place, and I would document it and I would speak on it only up until now, where I see it online and people just kind of like confused. And then I see the rubber hitting the road the older I get, because it was a lot of times that motherfuckers was like, well, Jesus was going to come and save us. Like that was niggas' real thought. Then you get to a space where, all right, Jesus ain't coming. I got to save myself. I got to save all of us. And the reason you got to save all of us is because black people are a caterpillar. We all connected. So of course we going to speak on things, and we got to speak real, and we got to like articulate ourselves and say all this shit because we are black people in America. This whole motherfucking system, all of the people, they hate us. And the reason that they hate us is because of who we are spiritually. That's why we was lynched. That's why we was enslaved. That's why we were told. That's why we were stripped away from our complete heritage. That's why they propagate Chief Keef fucking Sexy Red. I almost called her Sleepy Red. So there comes a point in time where we study, we learn, we learn. And then it comes a point in time where we have to begin to express. So we reference the solar plexus the same way we represent the sun. And when our solar plexus is activated, we are able to share. So if I can do anything, is to simply motivate people to share more. I see people posting on IG like in reference to like card readings and stuff like that, doing more videos and shit like that, because yeah, that's the energy, that's the vibes. We all have a community that, I don't know the people that tap into you, and you don't know the people that tap into me. We got our own little networks, and that represents our solar plexus and our opportunity to just share who we are. And once you get into this space, You're not going to be bogged down by the emotions of life. And that's really true. And I was like, I had this download, and then I was trying to figure out what's the solar plexus connection to serotonin. The solar plexus produces 90% of the body's serotonin. So that's your serotonin. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'll show it to you. Serotonin is a chemical in the brain that regulates mood, often called the body's feel good chemical. When serotonin levels are normal, people feel happier, calmer, and more focused and emotionally stable. So the lesson is, when you think that the problem is making you stressed out, angry, fearful, I can't believe my baby dad did that. What really are you? What the problem is that you're not connected to the God within. How do I know I'm not connected to the God within? Because you're not sharing from the solar plexus. You're not radiating your light. When you radiate your light, you're going to be happy because your happiness hormone is created in your solar plexus chakra. That's how real God is. He's not going to give you niggas a shortcut. There's no back door to this. Well, if I could just get money, if I could just find a boyfriend, if I could just get out of this situation. Nah, you're going to have to actually get into your solar plexus and really begin to operate in a happier, calmer, more focused, emotionally stable space. Because in marriage, this is why, let's go. Y'all not going to like this. Who files divorce more? In the United States, women typically initiate divorce more often than men. Why? Because women are not happy in the marriage. Why? Because the nigga that you marry is not responsible for your fucking happiness. But as long as you think that, 70% of the divorces is going to happen. 90% of college educated women is going, because they so smart that they know they picking the right nigga. But 100% of the niggas that you choose will never make you happy. Every nigga that you ever choose will never make you happy. It's no man in the world that was made to make you happy. You supposed to make your own self happy. You have to do that research. You have to do that work. Because you can get married, you can get into a relationship, your ass is not going to be happy because of it. I guarantee you. And that's okay though, because now you can do the real chakra work. See how that works? Now you can actually get happy. Your solar plexus is where 90% of your serotonin is produced. How are you expressing yourself? So let's get into some psychology of the solar plexus. Carl Jung describes the Manipura or solar plexus chakra as the center of emotions and passions. But this is heat and fire without consciousness, without having arrived yet to the level of thought, the Anahata heart chakra. Before that, underneath that, all is impulse, the fiery heat of feelings and desires, impulses and passions. So this is the part of you that knows how to be the best version of yourself before you could even think about doing it. That's why you should be centered in love and positive feelings, because you don't know how far a kind gesture is going to make it through life. You don't know how a person is going to receive you and then open up and say, "Oh, yeah, well, you seem like the person that I could just give my business to. You seem like the person that I could give my house to." You don't know how many blessings is for you because you're not connected to the magic of you. You have a soul. You should reflect on this soul instead of thoughts, because the thoughts that you are having are not true thoughts. The real thoughts come from the anahata, or the heart chakra, which is unconditional love. Most of us are mad that our ex cheated on us with our brother. We dead ass hurt by that shit. Like, I just can't believe she did it. That's not heart chakra. Heart chakra is, I hope y'all niggas is happy. How you gonna say that after you just fucked your brother? I mean, they look happy, and I don't want to be with nobody that's gonna be sleeping with my brother anyway. So it's a win-win for me. Another solution, and this is just something for people who are hitting their head up against the wall. Even if you ate today and you want to go on a fast tomorrow, this is just something to think about. Fasting can increase serotonin release and turnover, which may lead to an improved mood and reduce pain sensitivity. So when we talk about emotional pain, mental pain, it's probably related to eating and the lack of fasting. Fasting can also increase gut derived serotonin synthesis, which can enhance lipolysis and suppress glucose uptake in the liver. So, if you're trying to lose weight or lose stomach fat, fasting can help in the mode of eating less, but also producing more serotonin, which does, like, we talk about hormones, they are like Swiss Army knives within the body. They do a lot of good things. So it's good to have normal hormonal levels, because that is simply the work. So, with all of that being said, that was just more or less of a stream of consciousness of how I looked at today's energy, the things that popped up, some books for y'all to read. And yeah, I don't know. I really study a lot of this stuff. I be knowing a lot of different stuff, and so I just be feeling like it's fucked up if I don't share, because I just be knowing a lot of stuff, and it just always feels weird to just be sitting back and it just be sitting in my head type shit. So I don't know who this can help, but these are the things that help me, and I hope that it helps someone else. And I hope that you then take that and help someone else, because I'm only a result of people who had a heart and a mind to help people that they didn't necessarily know that they were even helping. There's so many people that help me that don't even know that they helped me. So I'm putting that out there for people who are trying to get credit, trying to get clout from spirituality, and doing this stuff for recognition. It's not ever about that. It's really about balancing your hormones so one can be feeling good, but also so you can receive from your soul. I guarantee you, if you are able to tap into the energy within yourself, you will override all of your problems. I guarantee you, if you meditate on the fact that God lives within you, God exalts himself within you, and you meditate on this and you bring this to the surface, all of the problems that you are facing, you're not going to be facing them tomorrow. It was energy that I was dealing with yesterday. The motherfucker asked me, "Hey man, you all right?" I legit did not even know what the fuck they was talking about. Okay. When you do this spiritual work, it's all about feeling good. Feeling good is the work, because in this world, motherfuckers are zombies when it comes to pain, death, and anguish, and overall separateness from God. When I'm talking about God, and loving God and going through the introspections of God, motherfuckers do not want to hear that shit. And because they don't want to hear that shit, I'm perfectly fine with distancing myself from them because I know none of these niggas out here created none of this shit that I exist in. Everything have been created by a creator in an intelligent design. And I really hope you find that energy within yourself and stop trying to find it in love, happiness, career, all of this shit. The feel good that I'm talking about, it comes from within yourself. Joy is inside yourself. Happiness is inside yourself. You was a goofy for thinking that getting married was the key to your happiness. It was a false idea to start off with. So don't be putting that man through hell because you ain't happy. Okay? Call that nigga tonight. Tell him you sorry and that you want to work it out with him or some shit like that. And we gonna be like, another goddamn love story rekindled. I'm all for the happily ever after. I'm the Hood Mystic. I represent hoodmystic.com. Make sure you check out the sites. We got some wonderful and amazing products. Check out the reviews. We got the smudge kit. I feel like everybody on that spiritual path needing to connect to spirit must do so through burning herbs, burning incense. And if you don't do it that way and you just hoping for shit, it's not going to work. Go ahead and get the Hood Mystic book bundle. It's ridiculously low price because, man, I just want people to have it so they can do the work. Check out White Rabbit site. We got our 25% off sale. If you've been listening to Kalindi, you know it's about taking them large doses, going into meditation, so you can get to the goddamn metaverse and make some real changes. Don't take my word for it though. Tap into Kalindi on YouTube. But yeah, man, this has been another episode of the Daily Energy Reading. I'll be back tomorrow with another video covering the moon. And make sure y'all tune in and tap in. And I appreciate you for all of your support, all of y'all help, all of y'all suggestions. Join Discord, Mystery School, things of that nature. I'll see y'all on the flip side.
Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling